Over there, there's a water spout. Quick, let's run. Quick, quick, run. Oh, what happened? Oh, my goodness. Oh, where are we? Let's go take a look.
Tim, that was a doozy water spout. You're going the wrong way.
Blades, fire, tent, 48 miles.
That sounds like fun.
Coyle Outdoor School, Corvallis, Oregon. This way. We're off to see Barefoot Joe because he's the one that knows. Follow, follow the dusty dirt road.
Good, you're seeing scaring the wildlife away.
If you can reach out with your knife and touch somebody, they're too close to you and you're too close to them. Your knife either belongs in one of two places. It needs to be in your hand or in its sheath. It doesn't go stuck into a log, set down next to your project. It's a good way to lose your knife. It's a good way to get, you break the tip off. And the way we use knives is important. So a lot of times when you're wood carving, what I see a lot of people do is they're tempted to hold their knife like they're slicing vegetables in the kitchen. You want to try to cut like this or cut straight in. You want to use what's called a hammer fist. So basically you're just making a fist around your knife. Yeah, always make sure that the blade is in a safe direction and that they can get a good firm grip on the handle.
And rather than moving the blade through the material, if you slip, then the blade's already moving and you got something to manage. If you can kind of try and keep your arm locked out and learn how to pull the material through the blade, that would be the ideal.
And batoning is splitting wood or chopping wood. So first things first, you want to make sure that your material is not dirty. When I start hammering down on this, I'm driving chips of dirt and sand and everything into my knife edge that I've spent hours getting razor sharp. You're just splitting wood, and generally you want to keep it pretty much in the center of your material. This one's off a little bit, so I'll fix that. Let's make a feather stick, everybody. It's where they're paper thin and they curl out in little towers. Where there's like 20 curls in one. It looks like a unicorn horn. Ideally, this is about the size you want to use anyway. And then we're going to do some scraping. So basically, we're going to hold our knife at a 90-degree angle to the wood, and we'll scrape that wood down. And we'll do that up underneath our feathers. Smaller material that will catch and then get this stuff going. See what I've made now? These little tiny ones. And this stuff will catch with the spark stick and a lighter. I could just sit here and hold it until it burns, and it's been in the fire now, so it's dried out and it's burning. So this is a ferrocerium rod, and it's pretty good for starting fires. It may just be that you don't have it fine enough.
You got it.
The fine one's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Thick enough that you could take, and I showed you scraping the
I got a fire. Yay!
I would have a way to start fire on every level of my clothing, right? So I've got one on my vest, my rain gear, my base layers, my pants. A lot of people really love the Bic lighters. They're pretty good. They work at a higher altitude. If these get too cold, they won't gasify, and you're sitting there like this trying to get your lighter to go. With this, I have to like really prep my tinder. Ideally, you would bring some with you. 9-volt battery, which I'm familiar with, but I've never tried it. But you use that with the steel wool, right? Yeah, and this is really cool. I actually been wanting to try this.
Cotton balls with Vaseline.
Okay.
Stuffed in the, and you burn the whole straw.
Waterproof match case. Candles. I used to carry a candle in my kit. That comes in pretty handy, because then you can just stick it under there and let it get your stuff going, and then take it out, put it back in your pack. This is a good kit.
There's dryer lint.
I see that too, yeah. Got a pair of wool gloves, a pair of wool socks. But wool, the reason I like wool is because it still will retain warmth when it's wet. And then I've got a wool scarf, and this lives in my pack summertime, wintertime, no matter what. So I have a poncho in my pack too, which is my rain gear, but it's also emergency shelter. If you're going on overnight, you need a pair of sleeping socks. You sleep in fresh socks. It's like a hygiene thing. Got some thermals. So your clothing is your first layer of shelter. And if it's not on your back, it should be in your pack and wrapped up in dry bags. This is a pretty manageable size tarp for one person, especially with this material. Yeah, I prefer like something like a 5x7 or like a 6x8. And we're going to do a plow point shelter, which for like a quick emergency shelter is, Dan likes to call them alien heads. You take anything really, some mass, something to take up space, and you make a ball. It really is better, the bigger the better, because it's more surface area your rope's going around, and it's more stuff that's in between, you know, keeping the rope from sliding off. Insulation, right? You can put a tarp over your head, but that ground's going to warm the earth. It's going to win every time.
We don't want a sail. You know, it is a sail.
Yeah.
So you want the least effective sail as possible. So you want like your kite lines to be like this long and not this long. So when you're building this, it also preserves the little bit of shoelace string or cordage you have, but also for billow, it'll start doing that, and then it'll start to be able to kind of harness the wind.
So this is an overhand on a bike. Instead of tying this off, I can just feed it through the loop. And it's a knot that's gonna, if this is a piece of string that I'm carrying with me, if it's not for my shelter, thing is like super convenient. You don't have to, if you want to secure something, you can tighten that down on there. Because one thing that you never want to do really, don't cut your rope and don't cut your string. Emergency tarp with you, you have the lines and everything to go with it, and you don't have to be tying this stuff off in the field like this. There's this saying, being in primitive skills, it's like the more you know, the less you carry.
Would you recommend starting the fire first or getting your shelter?
It would depend on the time of year. Right now, I would rather be soaking wet sitting next to a hot fire than under here dry but getting hypothermia. Ideally you want both, but me personally, if I can't have anything else, I want fire. This for an emergency, always if you're building a shelter, start with your bed and then build your shelter around it. That's after your fire is established.
So you don't want to be sleeping directly on the ground. You want some type of insulation between you.
Right. Yeah. In the same situation then, if you have a garbage bag with your tarp, you could put it down over it, or you could put the stuff inside of it. And I mean, it's not going to be great, but it's still better than being on the ground.
Well, we learned a few things, and Barefoot Joe gave me this magic ferro rod to get back home. All we have to do is strike it 3 times. There's no place like home.
I think I saw a spark. Oh, finally, we're going home.
Sponsored by Tube Tent. Roll it tight, pack it light.